Hi, everybody. It's Georgia Rose in the studio again. Did you miss me? I've been gone for 2 whole weeks, so I hope you guys have been busy doing really great stuff. So tonight I have a special guest. I'd like to introduce to you John Vassallo. He is a licensed massage therapist and so much more. So we're going to talk to John tonight about some healing and different ways that we can heal. It's going to be really interesting to hear his story. So I've missed you guys the last 2 weeks here in the Soul Space, but I've been working on a lot of things. Some of the things that I've changed recently is a lot of my longer blog posts and my astrology are no longer on my Facebook page. You're going to have to go to zenkuda.com for those. I just did some soul searching, and I decided that a lot of my content belongs on a higher vibe sometimes than some of the social media sites. But of course, the Soul Space will still be live on Facebook, and you can find us all over the place. My producer Bobby just got us on Amazon TV, and we're on Alexa, so you can always find us in the Soul Space. So I know we've got some people who've joined us. I know Monica's here. I hope that you are feeling good tonight, Monica. We've got a bunch of people on. Just say hi, drop us a line. You can also call live into the show tonight if you have questions for John. So, and I know some of you in my community also know John already. So welcome to the show. I hope you're having a good day.
I am, Georgia. Thank you very much for having me.
I had a very hectic day, guys, but I managed to get here. I felt like Indiana Jones. I climbed over a couple of SUVs and maybe a couple of roadblocks, but I'm here. Mm-hmm. So I'm so glad to have you on the show because I know that you have a lot of friends with me in common. I always see on social media, I always see you and Phoenix Green. Sometimes I go back and forth a little bit. I know him a long time. Mm-hmm. He's been on the show. He talks a lot to us about the Schumann resonance and the vibration of the earth.
Yeah, he is a very good human being, yes.
All love, Charlie is. That's his real name. So now, John, tell me, I know your title is licensed massage therapist, correct?
Yes, and I'm so glad you said that title correct, licensed massage therapist, because for so long we were called masseuses.
Oh.
That's a passé name.
Yeah.
It sounds like a French dessert.
It kind of does.
Yeah, and it sounds very subservient. So us who are very passionate, who have worked very strenuously, not strenuously, but, we're gone through the process of training and getting a license here in New York United States.
You're devoted to it.
Do not want to be called anything subservient like a masseuse. So thank you for being a licensed massage therapist.
And so much more. Because I know one of the things that I love about you when I was on your website, you bring a lot of different modalities to what it would be a traditional type of modality. Because I know you do yoga and all kinds of things. So let's start tonight for the people who don't know you out there. How did you actually, what attracted you to become a licensed massage therapist in the first place? So what's your journey?
Well, I've always been in the journey of helping people since I was 18. I worked with special needs kids, and then I worked my way up to working with special needs adults, and then working in nursing homes and psych hospital, actually not too far from here in Amityville. But people from that I would see on a regular basis in my life, not patients or anyone I did services with, would be like, notice I have good energy about me. I was able to calm the most irate person down.
Well, especially if you're working with adults that are challenged. I think people that work with children who are challenged are special, but people who can do that with adults are especially patient.
Yes, I definitely have. So one of the things
compassionate.
I'm definitely compassionate about. And I found that I was really good with helping people physically. I've always been a very physical person. Mm-hmm. I mean, even when I was younger, I was very active. I was in wrestling team. I was in dance. I did Boy Scouts. I always wanted to keep busy. So, and then when I found out, I have a gift. I want to be doing more than just what I'm doing, in healthcare. So I started as a nursing assistant. And then once I was able to finally realize, hey, this is what I want to do.
Right. It's kind of synced.
Exactly.
So it sounds to me like from an early age, you really had almost intuitively were drawn to the physical movement of energy or the movement of energy in some way.
Oh, yes, I was. Yeah. And even now at my age, I'm still hard to sit down and be still, But my motto is, I'm not dead. I'm going to continue to move,
My dad used to say that. My dad was 85 and at the end of his life, and he would make me help him to the dining room. And I'd be, Dad, why do you want to go to the dining room? You can barely walk. And he'd say, if you don't use it, you lose it.
That is correct. That's correct. And I always tell people, especially the people close to my life, and I can still do things I did at 22 now, 20 years later, 42. I just recovered from it longer.
Right.
So
That's a good point.
yeah, I'm okay with that. So
Yeah.
I don't limit myself over an age number. You know.
Now, is it true? Because I find that speaking about physical movement, especially during COVID, I had more time to be physical and active, and usually do yoga. But then there were times you didn't because it's not the same on Zoom, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I noticed that if you don't use certain body and movement, you really have a hard time doing it after that. I feel like sedentary lives are the most unhealthy life you can lead.
Oh, they sure are. And how many people I've known who started like a little over that time during the, when they were out of work and just staying home had COVID weight. Well, that wasn't my
Right.
story because, yes, I was not allowed to work. I was not
Yeah.
allowed to be in healthy. I was working very limited. And first time I left collecting unemployment. But what did I do? I cleaned out my yard. I did
Yeah.
stuff. I had my entrepreneurship.
That physical movement you need.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I actually did teach Zoom yoga. I was
See?
teaching it to friends. I was eventually teaching it to my
That's so
sister,
cool.
her friends in Florida.
Now, what sign are you? When are you born? Because I always find Aries and fire signs are the ones with the energy and a lot of movement.
well, I'm actually Virgo, which I believe is an
So
earth
you're in
sign.
service. Yeah.
Yes, very
Virgos
much
are in service. Yeah.
Yes.
That makes
very
sense, though.
caregiving, very sensitive.
I'll bet you've got some Aries in that chart somewhere.
Oh yeah. Actually, the people in my life in Aries, we know we either click well or we butt heads.
Yeah. Well, the Ram, right?
Yes,
Ram's button heads there.
Actually, I'm looking at one right now.
Right? So I wanted to just kind of bring that out because I feel like everything that we do is somehow intuitively we want to move energy.
Exactly.
And you seem to have found quite a few ways to do that very uniquely.
Exactly. And before I want to go into more how I do energy,
Tell
with
us
my
more your
tools.
story. Yeah.
So while I was in massage school, I also did the yoga teacher training.
I'm
and-
scheduled to do that this fall if I can work myself up to it.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh,
with,
good.
I don't know if you know Jackie Morrison from Long Island Yoga.
I do know Jackie.
Yeah,
She's
so I'm hoping
an
to do
amazing
some
woman.
teacher training with her.
Yeah, she's great. I did my first sound healing in that studio, and I fell
What a
in love
beautiful
with it.
space.
It definitely is,
Yeah.
and I've been hooked on them ever since. So I did the yoga teacher training at the same time, and it was a little overwhelming because between massage therapy school, which you had to put all your effort in, and the yoga teacher training, which
That's
I
a
put
lot at once.
half in it, and then working full time and doing a nonprofit organization was a little overweight. But I did get some help from a girl named Georgiana Borda, and I hope she's listening because I do want to give her a shout out.
Georgiana, if you're out there, make a comment.
Her and another one of her co-partners in the yoga training helped me to get my yoga voice, and I was able to become not mumble and stutter and basically kind of fake it till you make it when you teach a yoga class.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do because I'm definitely not a yogi that way. But I really do. I want to take the teacher training even just for myself and for the philosophy. To me, it's like yoga has many parts, not just the physicality of it.
It definitely is. It's more than just getting the physical movement and look good, feel good thing. It's
Yeah.
actually a lifestyle.
Yeah.
There is more than just the physical aspect.
Taking
of
it off the mat, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So it is. I've gotten some great experiences from several teachers, and I've run several workshops. You've heard of Kripalu.
Yep, that's the
yeah.
type of yoga that we do there.
Yeah. Very, very unique.
Compassionate.
Very definitely compassionate. And then all the other places. I love going to yoga classes. Could I go to more? Absolutely. But every
I think if
morning.
the whole world could do yoga every day, there would be no more.
There would be no more anger issues like we're
No.
having. We're having very unattentive anger issues.
And we'd all be flexible.
Oh yeah, for sure. I move in ways. Let me tell you, when I'm on the table, it actually does help me move because, and I get the sympathy question at least once a week. Don't your hands get tired?
I was wondering about that.
And I'm like, do you look at me? I'm pretty actually in shape.
Yeah,
but
you are in shape.
Thank you. But it's not the hand. The massage is not in the hands. It's in the entire body.
Right.
So when I have someone on the table, I'm working deep into them.
I always think of that because sometimes you'll get a massage and it'll be like a smaller person or something or a smaller woman. And I'm like, is she going to be able to really get in there on certain muscles and stuff? And it's because, like you say, they're using their own muscles in their whole body.
Yes.
Not just the hand muscles.
Exactly, and the very important thing is about centering. So that's why getting centering yourself before you go into during.
Do you have
treatment.
like a ritual almost that you do before you do that? Or-
Yeah, I just take a few breaths. I do some stretching, ground myself on the floor, and even I'll stretch myself on the table before I have someone on that table.
Right.
Yeah, and I used to EFT, emotional freedom tapping. People have done this where you just simply tap here,
Right.
tap here, tap here, tap here.
So what
take a
would
deep
be
breath.
like an EFT that you'd do if you were having a really stressful day? Would there be something that would reset you?
Oh, that's good. That's good. I learned this when I was doing a little sabbatical in Miami, Florida. They told me, yes, I know I made mistakes. I can make mistakes. I am human. I've learned from the mistakes. I've been forgiving, and I am forgiven.
You have to do a video with this.
Denver.
You need to do a reel. You got to do a reel.
Yeah, exactly. Because
That could fix us all up.
exactly.
Wow.
Because there's all these sayings that say you can't pour from an empty glass.
Right.
You can't. How can you clean other people's houses when your house is out of order, out of shape? So that basically means in plain English, take care of you.
Yes.
Before you want to take care of
When
others.
I do in my earthbound life is what I call it. I'm a realtor and I train real estate agents and I do performance coaching, and I always tell them most of the people that sit in front of me, they're not including themselves in their own life. And I'm like, well, you have to include yourself in your life because we all make these big plans and we all have, it becomes about the thing and the place and the situation and the other person, but we don't make it about us.
Exactly. And
Right.
then we forget that we exist. And then we
Yeah.
don't take care of ourselves.
And I always feel like massage gets us back in our body somewhat. It gets us back in that, oh, I exist.
Exactly. And that's what I do with every client. I tell them that this is your time to let go for this hour and a half that we have.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
avoid moving. Just let your body go.
So
Don't
we have
answer
to
the
go
phone.
because John's going to give me a massage. No, just kidding.
We'll discuss rates later. Yeah.
So now you're in school, you're doing the licensed massage thing, and then you're now starting to do some yoga. So where are you at, like, from a mindset? Like, were you always looking for something spiritual, or was it really about the physicality?
It was really for the fulfillment of helping others,
Yeah.
I've always had that, like I said, since
With
I
the
was a
Virgo
teenager.
energy, yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of schooling, I just completed the 3-year training education for the acupuncture program.
Oh.
So that is the addition what I'm going to do, what I'm doing. And I am actually going to probably do, not probably, I'm definitely going to be doing more acupuncture than massage.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, with the acupuncture, like, can that be for anything? Because I know a lot of times people will go for a physical ailment, but can it also reset your emotions or reset your, psyche or?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's it's everything from anxiety to depression to fatigue, infertility.
Fatigue, really? Like, is
Yeah.
that because of adrenals, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's adrenals. There is an adrenal gland treatment. We're trained by the really good ones, and people say what they want about the school, but I got good training from very knowledgeable people, and they did show me it was protocols, And
Yeah.
people are first thing I hear people, oh, I'm scared of needles. I'm like, have you had it before? No, so it's like, why fear something you haven't had?
Right.
Yet?
Well, that's what we do in life.
Exactly.
The unknown.
They're very thin needles.
Do they hurt though? No, because I always
If
see.
you do it right, it doesn't hurt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There is a proper technique to do it. Obviously, we train it. We get supervised training with it, and we're practicing on people. So no, it's not supposed to hurt. And not only you feel the pressure, or anything that feels the pressure, you're going to feel because there's something that needs to be released.
Right. Right.
You're either in a deficient side of your life or you're in excess.
So if you're getting a needle in a certain pressure point and there's an excess of energy there, you're going to feel it, or an excess of something there.
You're going to feel some dispersing, some release, some shooting up. I've had it where I had a needle put on my foot by an acupuncturist, and it went up my body. I'm like,
Wow.
oh, that was a cool feeling.
Yeah, but
didn't
it also
freak me
taught you
out.
about where the neural pathways are, or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're very heavy on neuros
Wow.
and chemicals, that things happen in the body, But you were talking earlier about energy and stuff, and the
Yeah.
biggest thing we do is move chi. Now, chi is the life force that we have, energy in our body.
That's why I asked, because that's the interesting part for me.
Yep, and I'm actually doing a Tai Chi course right now, so I'm learning more. I'm physically doing the movement in the Tai Chi,
Right.
Chi, moving Chi.
Right, but when you do it with acupuncture, it must be really different.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But it all comes down to the practitioner first. If they're grounded, if they're centered, knowledgeable,
Right.
and one instructor would always say, "You don't needle with your eyes; you needle with your heart."
You know, it's funny that you say that because as you were talking, that's kind of the impression I got of the way you work.
Yeah.
Because it's the same with those of us out there who do Reiki or energy healing in any way. Like, I'm very selective, number one, about who I do it on, you know.
Yes.
And then I'm also very selective about my own energy when I'm doing it. Like, if I'm having certain trauma, we all have trauma in our life, or I'm having something that's overwhelming, I won't do a healing on someone unless I can reset my own energy to the point where I'm healthy enough to be doing that.
Absolutely, because
Yeah.
you can't heal trauma with trauma, or are you defecting your trauma into somebody else?
Right, right. And I think
it's-
that's one of my pet peeves because a lot of, like you say, you're you're really a healer. And
Yeah.
so in that service, there's so many, healers out there that aren't as pure about that particular thing. And that's what gets me upset.
Yeah.
You know, and I see a lot of people like, oh, I went to somebody and I'm like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have gone to that person.
No, I can tell people's energy right away, or their attitude or tones, and especially when they're not humble.
Yeah.
Part of this whole life experience
The humility.
is humility. Yes, that I don't know at
Yep.
all, and I'm.
If
Gonna
you don't
continue.
have it, the universe will teach it to you, and sometimes in some very harsh ways.
Oh yeah, bankruptcy,
Right.
lost jobs,
Death, divorce.
I guess.
But that's why we're healers.
Amen. Indeed.
So when you do acupuncture, John, like, first of all, I know you have to go to school for a long time for that.
It's only 3 years. Of
That's
your
a long
life.
time for me to be
3
sitting in school.
years. yeah, and half it was done online.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
interesting. But
yeah.
you have to have practical stuff.
Yeah, no, there was
Yeah.
practical stuff. So what happened was the verbal classes were all online. So I was taking classes, opening up my tablet,
Right.
at home, at wherever in my office, or one time I was even doing it in Philadelphia. Whatever, they don't care as long as you're present.
Right.
But the hands-on practice techniques, yes, those classes were eventually done hands-on. Of course with the safety protocols. We're not special. No one should be acting like unique. Everyone had to wear masks and
Yeah,
follow
yeah.
the guidelines because you're a practicing practitioner. You are trained to be a practitioner, and everyone who rebelled against it is usually like you're really forgetting that you are a healthcare provider,
Right.
first and foremost.
Right. And, unfortunately, I find with a lot of these medicines that people do sometimes go into them and they have a big ego, or they're going into them for financial reasons or something like that. And
Yeah.
that is really not the energy you want to be going to someone for treatment if that's their energy,
Yeah.
So I think we had a couple of comments. Let me see. I think people are just saying hi, but let me check. Where are my comments? Where are my comments?
The welcome comments. I don't see any yet.
Yeah, there are some. Ann Roth, I don't know if you know her. She said, hello, John. I've got a call coming in. No call? Oh. Hi, you're on the Soul Space with Georgia Rose and John Vasallo. They're gone. Okay.
Okay.
Mayom.
That's right.
She's saying John is the best.
Oh, I'm so glad you're on. Her and I were in school, and she is now a licensed massage therapist, and she's actually going to be working in one of the places I work at right now.
Oh, that's great.
Starting out as a spa coordinator at Shoshugi Bond House in Watermill.
Wow, that sounds very exotic.
Yeah, it's a nice big Buddha, gate opened up.
Oh, I want to go.
Big Buddha, when you come in, very good, excellent customer service. Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, I'm probably not a candidate for acupuncture yet.
Really?
I'm a little nervous about it, but I would definitely come for other things.
Okay, sure. Well, I offer
Because
other
I really
things.
like your energy, so I think I can feel that
you.
you're a healer.
Thank you. I
So-
am actually Reiki certified too.
There you go. See,
did,
one
yeah.
Reiki person can spout another. And it's funny because, like you were just saying, it's really about the energy. And even Reiki, like it's a great label, but it's not even Reiki. It's like you're just healing. You're doing it from your heart. Like you said, you check your heart, not your physical body before you do acupuncture. You do acupuncture from your heart, not your eyes.
Exactly.
So
So
it's
bad
all
on
about that, I think.
Yeah, my heart's in it. It took a while
Yeah.
for me to actually get comfortable with Get Back School and go for it, and I'm glad I did. It was.
Well, we're glad you did too.
Yeah.
So where will people find you, John? Do you have a Instagram, Facebook, website? Where can we find you?
All three. So it's
We'll say it a couple of times during the show, but
it's massagehealsall.com. You probably can't see, but there's my face right there on one of my cards. You've probably seen many cards circled around the island.
I'm going to put that on here, massagehealsall.com.
Yeah. So the office space was in Selden, but now I'm actually in a couple locations in the South Shore and North Shore of Suffolk County.
Oh, okay.
I also do home visits too.
So actually, how does acupuncture work?
It works great, by the way.
But like, how does it work? Like you study the meridians and then you touch something? Because like when I get reflexology, which is like the feet,
I love it.
Sometimes like you start crying and they're not anywhere. They're just touching your feet. Like why does that happen?
Well, first off, there's an assessment we have to do. We have to do like a verbal assessment, ask questions, narrow down to what the real root cause of their condition is, and then we check their pulse to see if it's fast, slow. There's certain ways we're trained. Plus, we got to check their tongue.
Really?
To check, because these are old ancient Chinese medicine.
I had somebody that used to go to a doctor that would look in their eyes and say what was wrong with them. Like they looked at the eyes.
I can kind of see. I can see.
You can look in my eyes.
Yeah. They're not glassy. They're not bloodshot. So
they're tired.
They have shen, which means you have life in your eyes. You're not like
I have shin, people.
She does. I have proof. Her shen is good, even though she had a day.
I had a day.
Yeah, she had a day.
So I put on that they can find you at Massage Heals All is your website. For acupuncture and other
actually,
healing.
I'm just doing the massage. The acupuncture is a process I have to pass the boards first. But I'm a student of acupuncture and now in the training process of correct my license. But and yoga.
Yeah, that's my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I love doing it. I've done many different kind of yoga. Mostly the vinyasa flow yoga. I do take part in hot yoga classes.
And what do you think about hot yoga? Because I find it's not really the philosophy of yoga, but it's good exercise.
It is. It's a
I don't
very
want to put you on the
detoxifying.
Spot,
it
does.
People
detox.
are going to say what they want to say about it. You know? I've survived it. I think anyone
I barely have.
But first be smart. Drink plenty of water and go to regular room temperature yoga first before you jump into your first ever yoga class being hot.
Right.
Because you're going to shock system. But it's a bad preparation.
Look, you came up there. Good.
Yeah,
we got you on
there it is. There it is.
Sometimes I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I do have my I'm Instagram Massage Heals All, so you'll see my face with the Chicados flashing on there too.
Cool.
I'm not too busy. Sometimes it comes like, I forgot to post this idea. But of course, when you're on Zenkuda here, right? Zenkuda with Georgia Rose. Of course, I'm going to put it up there on Facebook and Instagram. Yes.
So now, Pauline has a question for you. She says, "How, when you're working on people, do you not take on their energy?"
I like to compare myself like a brick wall. Everything just deflects, so I really don't take it. I'm pretty grounded myself.
You're in a professional persona.
Exactly. So if someone's having a bad day, it doesn't mean I have to.
Right.
I don't have to go home to that.
Right.
Is my thing. I don't have to bring it with me.
Right.
So
even when you do Reiki, if you feel those things, like how do you stay out of their energy?
I gotta shoo it away. Just gotta just physically just shoo everything out. Just
shake it off.
Shake it off. Detach, come back, come back when you feel like you're grounded.
It's a learned behavior too. I think the first couple of times you go into someone's energy, especially, you can see you're a very compassionate person. So you're going to have those feelings. I know for myself, I go to a space where it's not about me at all. Like you might call it the brick wall. It might be the same for you. It's like, it's completely about that person.
Oh, absolutely,
so you're not going to take anything on because you don't have that mindset. You're not even focused on yourself whatsoever.
No, it is basically about that person too. But more people
really
should be
service.
Getting it, because if you deprive your body of human touch, that's the one sense you cannot live without.
That's what I found out during COVID. Because I had no one living with me at the time, and I had the people that I was closest to. Some of them were actually sequestered because they were essential workers and they weren't allowed to leave where they were.
Oh, that's
And so I literally, for about 6 weeks, had no contact with anyone except my dog.
Okay.
And it was quite an interesting thing because you can actually feel it in your body. Like the chakras actually start to hurt from no physical contact. I had never experienced that week before. It was very, very interesting. Nothing I want to go through again. But I have to tell you, it really taught you about how the body reacts and where you hold things.
It sure is. So, and I'm glad I live with someone and married to someone who is very helpful.
Yeah.
Bounce stuff off of.
Yeah.
She does the same for me.
I think that's why animals are helpful too.
Yeah.
It's something to have in the house with you,
Yeah, I'm not an animal person. I love animals, but just not in my house. I like to see them outside of the yard, and trees and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. You heal enough people. You don't need
Exactly.
So now I know you brought something here tonight. What did you bring? Oh. And guys, if you want to call in, if you have a question for John, please call in. It's 516-945-9099. For those of you listening in the car or on the phone, you can't see the number so good. Pauline also asks, are you empathic? You're a pro.
At times I am. I sometimes can't feel a thing. I feel like I honestly, like not cold-hearted, but just like senseless to, someone lost someone. I like say it's my cause. I'm not like, oh,
you're
my
detached.
God,
You can be detached.
Yeah. Oh, that's so. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not in a drama class. I'll just tell you, yes,
right.
Sad. But
maybe that detachment helps you do more of what you do.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, so you're a good combo.
It has hardened me. I think years of working in a psych hospital done that, and also being an EMT.
Right.
I forgot to put that on my resume.
Oh, you're an EMT.
Yeah, I was emergency medical tech. I was volunteer most of the time, and then occasionally.
So you are used to being completely, responsible during trauma. So you're not getting upset.
I am probably the most calmest
person. This is your 3 a.m. call, people.
I'm the most calmest person in an emergency. I've seen accidents. I've seen people drop down. Got a call?
Yeah.
No,
hello.
no.
Hi, you're on the Soul Space.
Hi, Georgia Rose.
Hi.
Hi, I forgot to catch the guest name. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Who am I talking to?
Pauline.
Oh, hi, Pauline. How are you? I know we were just actually asking your question about empathy.
Yeah, that's the empathy one because, I really wasn't planning on being a healer, but because I take on, and it was always like in a relationship, I would take on the person's energy, transmute their stuff, and then end up with all their crap. And it's taken me all these years to realize I've been picking up stuff, and a lot of it wasn't mine. And,
so you are doing healing work now?
No. I actually put myself on sabbatical. I've been working on myself since 2007, and I'm now realizing I'm also doing stuff for my ancestors, and I have no idea what. And I know I go further back than that. I know I must have agreed to come to do something on this planet as a sentient group of some sort. I know there are a lot of us out here who are doing it and didn't realize that that's what we came here for. And
I think that's a good assessment. Yeah. Did you have a specific question for John?
Yeah, I mean, I notice it's easier for men to cut that. I mean, I don't know if it's maybe my masculine and feminine is off balance, and that's probably why I could say that. I say that as if men can cut off their feelings and put boundaries up easier than women can, because we're so used to being the nurturer, the caretaker, the absorber of everything. You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm trying to say here?
I do. I don't know if I'm 100% in agreement with it. I think that it's more conditioning. I think it's just, we're born a certain way, and then we get conditioned even more, and I think it's men or women are that way. I don't know. What do you think, John?
You know what? We gave each other that look, and I felt what you were thinking, and I don't agree with that either. That has nothing to do with gender. Absolutely not. I have met some females who are completely detached and are grounded, and I met some males who are like drama queens. So no, it has nothing to do with gender. It's a matter of how grounded you are.
Right.
What I tell people is go outside and walk barefoot. Ground yourself that way.
Yeah.
Find time for you.
I finally figured it out that I wasn't in myself balance. That's why I realized I was attracting people who I was supposed to learn that lesson.
Right, and we attract what we know. We relive. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everyone marries their parent in some form or another. No doubt there in my mind. Right. I think I married my father 3 times, but only kidding, guys. But he just wouldn't go away. But I think it has a lot to do with conditioning, and I think the great thing, Pauline, is that you found the imbalance and are balancing it. And you even might want to partake of some of the things that John does, because most of what he does and the modalities he uses, acupuncture, massage, yoga, are all about balancing. Really,
That's correct.
It's
Yeah.
more grounded, right? It's more grounded stuff. It's not about
Absolutely.
like the airy fairy stuff, which is really good on some level, but
Airy-fairy
not
stuff.
on a physical body. You need to work on, like, he has the yoga poses and he does the acupuncture and the massage
Right.
is all physical.
Yeah,
So
but don't be knocking the
that's last
airy
thing I
fairy
have not
stuff, huh?
done. Part of my self-care is doing that now, just focusing on my body. I'm
Yeah.
taking this body with me no matter what.
Yep.
Yeah.
And-
Are you a caregiver to someone right now?
No, I'm actually trying to take care of me, and that's the hardest. It's been so hard for me to not
That's
focus
gonna
on
be-
other people, and willingly or unwillingly. And I finally figured I must have so many damn contracts that I didn't realize I gave out. And now I
Soul
said, nope.
contracts.
Now I see that this is about me. That was the whole point. I was supposed to be healing me first before I could
Well,
heal
everything
anybody else.
that
You
happens,
sounded
the reason is healing.
Yeah, you guys sound perfectly like you did it the right way. I did it the other way.
Oh, there's no wrong or right way. You're on your journey, you know.
Exactly. And that taking care of you is going to be your work, your practice for the remainder of your life, up until two things. One, that you can't physically take care of yourself, someone else will. Or two, your creator decides to put you in a place where you're no longer needed to care.
Words of wisdom there. That's so true.
Thank you so much, guys. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate this. Is an interesting show.
Oh,
Be-
I'm glad.
and
Tell your
best wishes
friends.
to you, Pauline.
Oh, yeah. One
Share
more-
the
I
show,
have
Pauline.
questions about your astrology. The astrology. How
Yeah,
does that
next
tie
week I'm
into
going to
all
talk
this?
all about, I'm going to go do a deep dive, because I haven't talked about astrology in a little while. So next week we're
Good.
going to do a deep dive on that.
Perfect.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thanks for calling in. Share the show.
Thanks, Pauline.
I did.
Okay, thank you. Bye. So what's in this box? Now I'm intrigued. It's like the magician's magic box here.
Or if you've ever seen Pulp Fiction, the glowing
Oh, yeah.
briefcase.
Yeah.
There's still a mystery to that. No one knows
Nobody
what
knows.
exactly is in that box. It's like a Hollywood movie mystery. No one knows, but it's a great movie. It's called AccuZone. It's a cupping set. So I would say that the swimmer Michael Phelps,
Ooh.
not Leonardo's pizza.
They
menu.
eat pizza and cup over there.
Yeah, I was thinking about what was going on there. So, Michael Phelps made this popular years ago when he had all those suction cups on his circles on his back.
Yeah.
And that was done with actually the glass cups. Those are actually like an advanced treatment, which, really is more for the acupuncture or Chinese medicine
So
practice.
now what is cupping like? What's the purpose of it?
Well, you would attach these the hard plastic things, and you use this pump, and you basically would target it onto a body, and it makes the skin and the muscles rise. There's some of the muscles, the soft tissue, and what it does is gives a release. So you can keep it there and keep it neutral, or you can do what they call like a gliding cupping, which is really
So
cool.
it releases toxin?
Releases toxin, releases tension. It helps
Does it
move
hurt?
things. Once again, we don't do things that hurt.
Nothing hurts
If
in
it's
John's
doing
world.
hurt, you're doing it wrong. Exactly.
Okay.
Solid like a bull. But,
So now what would be a typical scenario where someone would come to you for cupping?
if they have back tightness, back pain, that's like can't take a very good deep massage or deep needling.
Okay.
Someone with constipation, actually, can you put a little abdomen
Really?
and just follow the line in the intestines.
Will it make you lose weight?
Oh, that takes
That's
a
what
lot
every
more than
woman out there
cupping.
wants to know.
Yeah, I hate to say, and that's the thing I get constantly like with the weight loss thing. It's like it's like a team effort when it comes to any kind of lifestyle change.
Right.
Like if they want to see results, it's I can only do so much on the table, but it's what the person does outside.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah. Like I'm a very clean eater and very pure eater, and everyone's like, "How do you not eat the chocolate cake?" And I'm like, "I don't crave the chocolate cake because I don't ever eat it."
Mm-hmm.
You know. So it's all like you say, it's devotion too. You know, team effort's devotion.
Yeah.
So now with the cupping, so like how long do these stay on? Like,
Usually no more than 10 to 15 minutes.
oh, they're really like a hard plastic cup.
Yeah.
Now, does each one go in a different area depending on the ailment, or how do you know?
You can put a little over one area. Yeah,
Really?
you're supposed to put it in a safe area. You're not going to put it in an area anywhere you're going to mess up someone's organs or vessels or arteries. It's really just more like the
They
medius
just pull
part.
out the energy and the toxins
Yeah,
somehow.
and you know what? There's actually a cool technique that it's an Islamic healing technique called Hajani, and I looked into
Hajani?
it. Hajani, yeah. So they do the cupping first on the body, and then they take like a scaffold or something, and they put little slits into it and make a
Ooh.
little slight little bleed. Then they recup it, and then
suck the blood out?
Yeah.
It's like the old-fashioned bloodletting when they used to bleed you. You know, in the
Yep.
olden days, if they thought you were sick, they'd bleed you. And they'd have leeches. They'd use leeches.
Yeah, so that's how this ancient practice
I know I
is.
should not know these things, but somehow I do.
It's okay. I'm the reciprocator of very useful information that some other people would be
So how long does this stay on?
usually 10, 15 minutes.
Wow, and that's
Yeah.
why it leaves a mark, because it's on so long.
Exactly. And I tell people if you're a bride coming down the aisle,
Yeah.
you may not want to do this yet, or
Right.
you might want to hold off on
Right.
it, or if you're planning to go to the beach and don't
So
want
can
to
you do this at home with your vacuum? Just kidding. You
Now
wouldn't know where to put them.
Now we're going to an old teenager's mischiefy thing to do with a vacuum. But
I would strongly suggest going to John if you're going to do cupping. I would tell you
exactly. Don't do it yourself unless you're properly
It's not-
trained.
wow,
I'm
look at
properly
this
trained in
gizmo.
this. Yes, so I would actually go to my back. If I wanted to cut myself, I would just take the cup, put it on my back, and go
Wow.
like that.
that. So now what would make you do that? Like what would be, you just feel tension or you feel like
If
toxic?
my back is tight, I want to get it released, and I'll do the cupping on it. So yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. So that's
many things
what I
to
can
learn.
offer during a massage. So it's not just go to a place where there's bamboo sticks and flowers and hot stones. Those are nice
Right.
pampering massages.
But
I've done
this is
this
actually
before. This is
medicinal.
medical.
Yeah,
this
this
is
is
medical.
medicinal.
This is more like let's get you on a plan.
I think I might want to do that. A massage and some cupping. Who knows what's going to be released?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I might rule the world the next day. You never know.
Yeah, you're already Superwoman. You'll be more of a Wonder Woman then.
So now, what is your greatest joy when you do this? Like, what is like the most rewarding day? Your ideal?
When the client comes in on a scale of 1 to 10, has a less pain scale than when they came in, when they feel like, oh my God, that was removed. Or, oh my God, I didn't even have to tell you where the pain was or where the tightness was. You just
knew
knew.
it, yeah.
It's intuition. It's
Yeah,
like you just
have that feeling.
sense to it.
Yeah.
Exactly. It doesn't. It just
That's such an
naturally
amazing
happens,
thing.
Like,
And then, like, don't you feel like you're in absolutely the right place when that kind of stuff happens? It's just such a confirmation.
yeah, I do,
that you're-
and it's only going up and growing more. I have
Yeah.
very good ideas and places.
You're in the right place.
Do it. Thank
That's
you.
the philosophy behind Zenkuda, and the Zenkuda community is basically people living their full potential or striving for that full potential, like being really ambitious about it, and I can see you're the real deal, John.
Thank
I interact with a lot of people in the spiritual world, and I see a lot of spiritual bypassing going on. And like you can tell, like you're very devoted to what you do, and you really, have that enjoyment of it. It's beautiful to see that.
Thank you.
So I would definitely suggest anybody who wants to do some healing work or anything with modality, kind of intermingling what you do with the physical and the spiritual. So it's really a nice spot to be in. So now, when someone wants to find you, like what would a typical appointment be? Like, would it be an hour massage, or what do you usually do? And do you have clients that you see on a regular basis? Like, is this therapeutic? Like the acupuncture, I guess, would be, right?
Yeah, I do see clients on a regular basis. I rent space from 2 yoga studios. Well, it's actually the same yoga company, but it's
Yeah.
called Free
2
Spirit
locations.
Yoga.
Okay.
Yeah, so I see them. I go there. Well, I should be on one of their websites. I know I am. I had that. They misspelled my last name, but that's been misspelled for years. It's okay. And they could call me, like, they have to get in advance, day of is nearly impossible because I'm not,
Right, of
not
course.
at the beck and call. I have my days planned already. I also have my other practices I work at as well.
So now, what are the locations at Free Spirit?
One in Middle Place and one in Patchogue.
Okay.
Yeah, at least 2 to 3 days a week I'm there. And
Just putting that in the chat so everybody can find you.
thank you for this. This is like this, especially with summer, coming. A lot of people want to get more treatments because they got to be more active. They've
Oh,
been,
yeah, definitely
been
so.
cooped up with the cold weather. And
I
it's-
find things like the modalities that you specialize in, I find those things always make me feel more of that energy. I guess it's chi. It's like that feeling of like I can really like do things now. My mind is much more organized. I'm clearer. It gives me a lot of clarity. And especially if you're working on projects, that's what you need, is that just cleansing of it all.
Exactly. And now that the summer's here, I have I didn't plan it out yet, but I have go here, do this, do that, learn this, go to this workshop. Because
Right.
also as a massage therapist and actually as acupuncturists, we have to get continuing hours. So we constantly have to be up our gaming with our practice our
Right,
our
of course.
techniques.
You got to
You
do your
know,
practical stuff.
just the bare minimum doesn't really go
Cover
far
it.
anymore.
Yeah.
You know, just learning the basics, you learn a massage, you have to go a little further.
So, what I also wanted to ask you before we sign off tonight, we have about 10 minutes left, is I wanted to talk to you about these modalities in relation to immune system and immunity. Because we hear so much now in the news about certain vitamins and, of course, vitamin D and this and that. And that's a really great holistic way to go.
Yeah.
But especially, I would think if you're releasing toxins and things, this would be great for the immunity. So, have you seen any correlations, or what is your advice with that?
Get regular treatments, hydrate, take whatever. Get into Chinese herbs. I did not. I'm not into that yet, but maybe in the future I will down. Those are very powerful as well.
But is there certain places on the body that if someone came to you and they say, I have an autoimmune disorder or I'm bordering on that, is there a certain treatment or place in the body you'd focus on?
Then I would just do more of a light treatment, like you said, the reflexology would probably be the best thing for them.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. Lymphatic drainage has been very...
I keep hearing about that. What is that?
Lymphatic drainage is a very light pressure technique where you're moving lymph. So people with obesity, post-surgery, people who just got
I work
lap
with
band
a breast cancer group, and the ladies go for that, and it really makes a difference with them.
Yep, so that's like what it is. We're just moving lymph to the body, and you go one place. It's like unkinking the hose. It's backed up with water. You got
So you have flow.
Exactly.
We all have to be more flow, ladies and gentlemen.
We sure do. It's so tight. Everyone's driving like they're tensing
doing
up.
everything. I feel like since COVID, we were all so hypersensitive. It was like we were all hypered up, because we were like, oh, we're out of the gate, but we're scared of each other now.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to commit to anything nowadays. I also have other tools I wanted to show you.
Yeah, I want to see.
So this looks like weapons.
I love it when people bring props. What the hell are those? It looks like something Batman and Robin used.
It does. You're right.
You get these off your utility belt?
Yeah, I actually do bring my utility belt. This is a company called Rock Tape. I did a training with them.
What are those?
So it's actually assisting. They call it soft tissue assistance tool. So it releases soft tissue. So basically, it's moving on to the body. Can I demonstrate on you?
Yeah,
of course.
Demonstrate on me.
All right. So you take the smooth edges.
Wow, it actually feels nice.
Yeah, it's steel, so it's temperament. It's if it's cold out, it's gonna be cool.
Why is this relaxing me?
Because I'm relaxing you. The tool's just helping.
Okay.
Yes. So you do this not just to remove knots, but to move some flow and circulation into the body.
I have to tell you, the whole time I was sitting here, because I had a really hypered up day, I've been feeling like shallow breathing. And now you did this on me, and I feel like I'm breathing normal again. And
that's a big important thing. What you mentioned is breathing, breath.
Oh, yeah.
We breathe more. People have been making mistakes for years breathing through your chest. Breathe through your belly. Be a belly breather. I have to constantly remind myself of that.
Me
I
too.
constantly remind myself to breathe anytime I do anything. So that's just one of the things I do.
And where do you get these?
I got them through the training, and
you could use them anywhere on the body. Like you could use them on your feet, or do you have to use them on certain points?
No, you use them anywhere. That's
nice
not
feeling.
like a bone. You can't do it over a bone, but you can do it over here. Yeah. Yeah, my clients love this, and I always get there okay to do it,
Yeah, I would like it. I'd love that on my back, definitely during a massage.
Yeah. There's a little smoother techniques. That looks like a Chinese star. That's something we use. That's another scraping technique. So it's also in Chinese medicine. We've been trained to call it gua sha, and basically what it does, it does that, but it's more targeted, and it will leave redness, but not permanent red.
Oh, okay.
So that's another thing to.
So if you do that in the cupping, it's because you're going home for the weekend.
Yeah, I would do either or. I would be a little too much to do both.
What's that thing?
Oh, this is one of those massage guns.
Massage guns?
It doesn't shoot out. It's actually a vibration thing. So.
And these are all tools you'll use during certain sessions?
Certain times, if it's okay. I don't use this on pregnant women because.
I feel like that would really release tension.
Exactly.
Especially in the lower back.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's going to make you really relax.
Yeah.
This in a hot tub, I'm good.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's something I just started doing with people recently.
You certainly know your stuff. He's like the mad scientist. I would just book an appointment and be like, do whatever you think I need. Let him go to town because you're going to come out feeling very refreshed.
Oh, and this little thing is actually
it looks like rose quartz.
Yeah. And it feels really nice. And I would do for the face, and you do it cold because sometimes you need the cold to circulate. I actually have to do it myself because
So you were just
I'm full of heat, as you can see.
Yeah. Well, I think you're definitely got a fire in your chart.
too.
When you were talking about breath before, I always, when I do a lot of spiritual work and counseling with people that isn't even just Reiki and stuff. And I always tell people what you just said about breath, like people will underestimate that or not really hear it.
Yeah.
And so one of the ways I say to them is the most important relationship you're ever going to have in your life is the relationship you have with your own breath. And I had read, I think it was Pema Chodron years ago, the first thing we do when we're brought into this world is breathe, and the last thing we do when we leave is breathe.
Last breath. Yeah.
So the most important relationship you'll ever have is with breath. And it really does. Like, you can make yourself sick by just not breathing right. I know
So
that
true.
feeling.
Yeah.
So all of this is wonderful. I think especially when we're at a time when self-care is so important right now for the immune system and for everything.
It really is. It really is. I encourage people to make this not just a luxury, a necessity.
Yeah, I would say that's definitely true. So what is your favorite modality that you get to receive? I hope you get to receive from some of your colleagues.
I do, actually, and I'm supposed to be getting one, I think, in a couple of days. Let's go, Vicky. She does what they call the deep feet. It's a shiatsu technique. It's
Shiatsu.
yes. So, but it's done where they get on the table and they hang out on poles, and then they do their feet into them. You've probably seen it in the movies. You've probably seen it in
That
Thailand.
sounds so
China.
cool.
It really is. I love that technique because
Is they like walking on your back or?
they're more gliding the foot on your back. And yes, I've
Really?
had the walking your back technique. Yeah, that seems to be.
And what is that called?
It's called shiatsu. So it's like the
Ashia-
shiatsu is
ashi-
done with your fingers,
like
but when you do it shiatsu,
Ashiatsu.
using more body.
Ashiatsu.
Shiatsu, yes.
I have to see this done. I need
Yeah.
to video this for the show.
Yeah, you could do it on shiatsu deep feet. I had a lot of them all over from like either the city or the
Wow.
Hamptons.
I've
I
never
treat,
heard of that.
I act like I'm like, loaded big baller over here, but you know what? It's not. I mean, I treat myself well, and those are the things I invest in is myself, and my wellness.
You're the Eastern medicine baller.
I'll take it. Yes. I collect moments. I collect a lot of books.
I can tell. We're going to
adventures.
definitely have you on the show again. So
I'm
I'd like to pick
definitely
a soul card for you.
Sure,
We're
thank
going
you.
to see what Spirit has to tell us about John V here.
Yeah,
And we'll definitely have you back on.
thank you.
You got more to tell us, I can tell.
Oh yeah, I definitely do.
Nope, this is your card. Oh, wow, look at this. All the energy in the head.
Oh,
So that's really cool because
That is
this
cool.
shows to me healing because it's all golden light all around you, all surrounded by it. This to me, if I pull this card, it's going to tell me that someone is really a healer.
oh,
So
Wow.
this is definitely all the green and gold in this card. And then just for confirmation, I'm going to pull a tarot card for you. But
Yeah.
this just shows how much you are just in golden light. You are really, and I also, the impression I get off that card is it's really about other people for you.
it sure
and that
is.
healing. Yeah.
It sure is. Yeah.
And you get to see someone, I use the word prophet, not prophet, Prophet, but with the I.
Yes.
And it's like taking something and leaving it better than you found it.
Oh yes.
And that's really what you're doing every day, with people is you're definitely showing profit. And Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles, John, I don't know if you're working on a project or starting to begin something new, but this is showing me that it's going to be a good project for you and you're probably going to get information about it soon.
Oh, good.
So I don't know, is
I'm
it something you've
feeling
been planning?
I'm very good about the. Yeah. Can I take a picture of that card?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Great.
we
I definitely
will.
will.
So that's our show, and this definitely is correlated. So it has to do with your career and what
Okay.
you're doing and some new endeavor. And this, if you look, the Knight is going towards it, and there's Pentacles here, which means much abundance.
Oh wow, that's meant to be. Okay. Yeah. Well, I am.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
am. Oh,
Everything's pointed forward in this card. All golden light.
That's
Yeah.
good. I should change the colors on my website to golden. Well, it's
Maybe.
kind of like
Good things
little
coming.
tan and purple, but yeah.
Shine your light because people will definitely come to it.
I believe that. And thank you for the encouragement.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Want to thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for
We'll
having
have
me.
John again. If you need to find John, look in the comments. You can find him on his website or at Free Spirits Yoga in Miller Place or Patchogue. And you can always give me a jingle and I'll tell you exactly where to find him. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This show has been a great source for me of love and support for everybody out there in the Zenkuda community. And you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Zenkuda Official. Thanks so much, everybody, and I'll see you next week right here in the Soul Space. Bye-bye.